Guess what time it is?
It's time for small potatoes.
Where we give you a naughty tease of our latest Patreon episode.
Be sure to subscribe. Links are in the description. Um, Mine would be a saran wrapped covered pussy slide. And I say that for a few reasons. One, I'm on top, I'm in control.
Yep.
I can make eye contact, which I enjoy, and I'm in control of kind of the movement and the rhythm of the pace, which will allow me inevitably to get off. So that, I think, would be my go-to body slide. And it wasn't until our girls and Muse that I really discovered how much saran wrap can and does get used, that I was like, that's genius. Like, I actually want to try it, yet it's not something you'd really try in your civilian life. So that would be my go-to.
Oh. That's an old school legend trick right there. I love it.
Or even if you reverse it, just giving him a lot of that show. So you can really just play on the angles and the booty and have him grip on for the ride.
So hot.
So
hot.
Hey guys, welcome back to Just the Tip with Riley. Thank you for joining me again. Tonight we're diving into the raw, real, and kind of unspoken side of sex, pleasure, and intimacy. Tonight we're talking about something that might surprise you. Or maybe not. Have you ever heard of an orgasm so intense, so overwhelming, that tears stream down your face? Not from pain, not from sadness, but from pure cathartic release. Tonight we're unpacking crygasm or climaxing. It's that magical moment when pleasure and emotion collide in the most magical way. Some call it climaxing. Others link it to the rush of hormones, endorphins, and oxytocin that flood your system after climax. This can feel like joy, the release of grief, or just the sheer intensity of actually letting go. And listen guys, it's way more common than you may actually think and is completely normal. So tonight we're going to explore why it happens, what it means for your body and mind, and how partners can properly support each other through these powerful moments. The causes of climaxing are often a mix of biological and emotional factors that can lead to rapid shifts in mood and emotional responses. Emotionally, it might be tied to vulnerability, unresolved feelings, connection, or fulfillment. I will preface this by saying there's some people that exclusively climax in this manner. And other times it's circumstantial. It might be a one-off, but you need to be prepared for your own body, but also how to support your partner. So tonight, I want to give you a few tips on how to properly empathize and support your partner if they have a crygasm. But first, before I jump into the tips, I want to throw it over to Em, because listen, she's our favorite sexologist, and I know she's got something to talk about on this topic. Em?
Hey, Riley. Thanks for asking for my 2 cents. I've had this happen one time in my personal life, and it was completely unexpected for both me and my partner. But I would say that it was the one time in my life where I was absolutely certain that we had made love. It was not just sex or fucking. This was emotional. It was very intimate, very intense. And I think it's the intensity that really led to just this overwhelming flood of just raw emotion. And it just poured out of my eyeballs. It was beautiful and spectacular. And luckily I had a partner who understood the importance of aftercare without having to talk about it. But that was something that I really needed to be eased gently afterwards and kind of back into normal everyday life, back to reality. Now, I did experience a little bit of it when I was a sex worker and had some clients that responded that way.
If this tip isn't enough, subscribe to Patreon for the whole thing.
To be a man.
Okay, I know yours is going to be interesting with this one. I hope I get lots of honesty from you. A kink you haven't tried, but it's on your bucket list.
Oh, I think that one's easy. I feel like I've said it 1,000 times. My top goal in life is to be tied up and blindfolded by a man who knows what he's doing. Yeah, to me, that is just the epitome of all the things I want to discover about myself. And in a few duos, I had allowed like as long as it was with someone like the girl I trusted, my hands to be like tied for a few minutes or a blindfold on for a minute. But that's not what I'm talking about. I want, it doesn't even have to be in a dungeon. It doesn't have to be all dungeony. I don't care about the whips and the chains. I really just want to be like out of control, no control, and not know what's coming next kind of vibe. So like restrained, tied up, spread open, and he's the boss. And we just have a safe word or mumble. That's all we need. Yeah, that's top of my list. I mean, I wouldn't.
We've talked about this before, that it's such a phenomenon to me that Emily has not experienced this, and I think we vocalized this on the pod before.
Yeah. I haven't met my Christian Grey. I searched the world and I haven't found him yet, but I also have other standards that are pretty high. So like it's got to be a high level man at a certain caliber and income and all the things. But his skill, here's the other thing, is there's a footnote to it. His skill set has to be at a professional grade, because I don't want to teach. Like the thought of teaching someone sexual stuff really bothers me as well. There's one of my turnoffs. Question number 1. But I don't want to deal with anyone who's actually a professional. If you've been in the sex work industry, I'm not fucking you. That seems like work. So finding someone who's really skilled but isn't in the pro side of the lifestyle is also a challenge. I also have privacy to think about. I'm not going to date, John Dingo the Dom at such and such dungeon when they're fully aware of who like Emily Muse is and that connection. They could have clients that are friends of mine or coworkers or clients. Like, just that freaks me out. I don't like when my worlds collide like that. I think our worlds blend enough that I like sexual separation. Because if I didn't, I'd be at Oasis all the time. I'd be at the swingers clubs. I'd be at the events. I'd be at the feet parties and the private parties and all the things. Problem is, half of them are employees or former clients. And that's not what I want. So Christian Grey will find me.
Well, you will. I can't wait to hear about it.
Yours.
I have two kind of. My easy like one word answer is findom. I'm really intrigued by it. I think I'd be good at it. I just don't really know. I'm not quite sure how to get into it. And in all honesty, I don't have time for another job, so it likely won't happen. But I find it really appealing. And I think I could balance that. Like, I could be a sugar baby really easily. Like, I could get into that role and dominate someone financially would be really interesting. But on the flip side, I'll be like completely like contradict myself. I want to be fully dominated and not just sexually, like from a day-to-day routine, like every aspect of life. And I have had more dominant men in my life, but I think a lot of men really confuse dominance with bossy. Yeah. And that's a balance. And I'm not looking to be bossed around unless it's really in naughty ways. Right. But just a really alpha man is what I really crave in all aspects, day to day and in the bedroom.
I 100% agree with that. I have to respect you, because as soon as that is lost, that's out the window and everything else crumbles from that point. And I have never been able to regain respect for a man that I've lost respect for, at least in my life experiences. It's funny you say the findom thing. I would love to be someone's sugar daddy or sugar baby at this point. That would be super hot, because I get to do it my way instead of like the pro way had to be before. I think the amount of communication and correspondence back and forth with findom would drive you crazy. Yeah. Because there are so many time wasters, and you could spend so much time with promises and people never follow through. Like most girls that have a success, we see it on Twitter a lot, with the findom thing, probably have 2 or 3 really great clients and like 1,000 people that waste their time. And you don't know who they are until you know who they are, right? So you got to entertain the bullshit for a while. It's exhausting. And that would feel like probably more than a full-time job, because you're literally pissing away your private time, which we have minimal of already based on our lives, right? But the sugar baby thing, yes, I signed us both up. I think that would be, especially if he's dominant. If he likes and he has those kind of skills, but again, isn't a pro, but has pro level skills, Oh, hell yes. Hell yes. You can control all my finances too. You can fend on me, for God's sake. You can do all the things. Just take care of me and my life.
Well,
That
if
would
we're
be
talking
glorious.
about time wasters, I'm being brutally honest with you guys. I could go in my ex inbox and give you a list of time wasters because let me guess, I'm not in sex work in that sense, right? I own a business in the adult industry, but I don't actively work in the business. But listen, when people throw around really interesting numbers, you have to kind of, it makes your head tilt for a second. But the minute you're like, okay, bet, here's my email, time waster.
Crickets.
They're all time wasters.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny, when I lost my ex account in November and you had to kind of like step in and be like, I guess I got to use mine all the time now. I think it was like the second day. I was like, let me guess. I can name the people that are already in your inbox. And I was right. And you're like, damn. I was like, I know. Talk shit. That guy, talk shit. That guy has no money. That guy never even comes to the parlor. Blah, blah, blah. Like it was just like a checklist of the who's who's. And it makes me laugh because if my Emily account were to come back and you were to go into my DMs right now, you will see answered messages, unanswered, answered messages, unanswered. And it's those same folks that I just ignore because I'm over it. If you're not coming in to make the girls some money and spend some quality time making their day brighter, I don't have time for that shit. I don't care. And I know how you are with time wasting. You would, there'd be smoke coming out of your ears. You'd be like a cartoon, just like, so mad. But that's the hope, right? Is you get the one that is telling the truth. And it ends up very sexy and super fun. I did a deep throat about Findom that's coming out this week of recording. Will probably be 2 weeks ago once this episode comes out. But it touched a bit on that because there's an absolute sexiness to it. To trust someone, to be that vulnerable, and to invest in somebody else's life is like saying, like, it's like feeling you're seen. Like, I see you, I believe in you, I trust you, and here's how we're going to make this happen for you. And that level of devotion is so very sexy. It is so panty dropper. It is compassionate and sexual at the same time. Like, it's weird because some people can think of it as just like, oh, gold diggers and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, actually, no, gold diggers don't want all that connection. They don't actually care to tell you their dreams that you invest in them. They're just like, where's my money? And with Findom, it is a relationship and it does build elements and levels and you progress and gain more trust. Maybe it starts small donations and no access to banking. But by the end, you can have a really phenomenal relationship. It's someone that you might trust even more than your own partner if you had a real life partner because they've been through so much with you or you have access to all their accounts, like everyone's secrets. It's like the vault we carry every day. We could explode people's lives if we ever were nasty people. Luckily, we're not. And we keep our, everything in this safe hush hush, like we don't blab people's secrets, but to have that kind of power over someone, it's so erotic because it's much like being tied up and blindfolded. You're hoping that someone doesn't break your boundaries. You're hoping that someone doesn't explode your existence or your life or your identity or your body. And so when you find that trust with someone,
magic.
For any dollar amounts, that is just glorious. That is what most people would want in regular relationships. So, sign me up for the good part. Hit me, count me out for the time wasting.
I know. Well, speaking of time wasters, how often was this question in your inbox? Because it's our last one, guys. But it's a funny one. If Emily and I worked at Muse, or if we worked, would we do duos together, and how would they go?
Yes, and the best. It's easy.